Well, hello friends. Today, I thought while I was filming another video that we could do an eyebrow tutorial for people who do not have eyebrows. Maybe you have alopecia. Maybe you're going through chemo. Or maybe like me, you just plucked your eyebrows to oblivion and they do not grow back. So here is the situation. I'll zoom in and show you. My eyebrows grow to about right there, and that's about it. My tails do not grow, and what does grow I wind up shaving off because there's just not enough to do anything with. So please excuse the background noise. The hurricane is coming through Georgia, so we've got thunder, we've got lightning. My neighbor has decided to mow the yard, so I'm actually hoping the storm rolls through, so I'd rather hear thunder than the riding lawnmower. Alright guys, so I'm gonna do my brows, and since we've got all this background noise going on, we will do a voiceover. Please excuse I'm doing another video, so I've spot concealed and I'm letting all that soak in while I do this tutorial, so don't mind me. Okay, so we're going in with pear soap, and I've used this for years and years and years, and for me it seems like it's still the best brow gel that you can find. But we're taking the setting spray and we're going to give it just one squirt, and then we're working it through with an eyebrow brush. I prefer the disposable ones, and you can use it over and over again. You just wash it out. So you get some on your brush and you comb it through, and you want to do this without getting it on your skin. It can be tough, but just do the best you can and try to get it just on the hair. And then I go in a second time, same thing, one squirt, and then work it around again, and you'll see that this time it builds up a little more, and it'll be easier to get it on there, as you can see. And what you're doing is giving it a chance to dry between coats, so to speak. And you'll find that you'll feel resistance as you brush it through. And that's what you want. And as you can see, they'll start to stay. Now I'm going in with this Morphe eyebrow pencil. And here you want to use the corner of your nose to mark out where you want your brows to be. Then you go from the corner of your nose across your pupil, and that's usually where your arch is going to be. Doing the same thing on the other side, just marking it. And then I'm starting along the bottom edge, and mine are very uneven, so I have to kind of go back and forth between eyebrows. And this also helps you make sure you're getting them as close to the same as possible. Again, just sketching out the bottom edge. And now we are doing the tail, and as you see, I have no tail. So you mark this from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, and that's where you stop your tail. So now I'm going in and drawing some hair-like strokes through the front of the brow. And then you want to try to follow the direction of your hair growth when you're sketching them in. Right now it's not as important because this is just the first step. Actually, the second step. So then we're going through, combing these out a little bit. And you will not comb out your soap. It stays in there. It stays kind of, gummy's not the right word, but it stays pliable so you can run through it with your brush.
Doing the same thing on the other side. And I don't know if you notice it, but on the if you're looking at it on the right, I got a little soap on my skin. On the left, I didn't, and you can really tell because the brow product wants to kind of stick to that, but it's okay. Like I said, you can use your brush and brush that out. Now I'm cleaning up the front edges, and I blended that away. It's just to soften up the front. Just going back and reinforcing that. So now we're going in, and I go in with 2 different brow pens. One is a lighter color. I've already done the right. I'm going to show you on the left. And you start with the tail because that's where you want the darkest part to be. This I'm using Ash Brown from NYX. This is the Lift and Snatch. And I'm just going in and putting in some hair strokes. And on my tail, normally the hair grows, straight out. But I always start at the bottom edge and flicking them up and off, in this case, to the left. And you just find those sparse areas. If you have some brows, you can do this and just fill in the areas where you don't have many. I'm also reinforcing the shape when I do this. And if you get a little too much like that, it's fine. You can go in with your brush and kind of blend that out. And it's very important with these pens that you hold them further to the end and use a light touch. Just creating those brow strokes. And obviously less of them as you get towards the front. And now I'm doing the top edge. I do find it helps if you do the bottom and then the top. That way you're not getting like a blocky type brow. It can get out of hand quick. And this takes practice. So there we go, and it looks like we have some hair. Now we're going in with a deeper shade, and this one is Espresso. And I find with these pens it helps if you wipe some off before you go straight in, or else it can be too dark. It'll put too much product down. And what this does with the deeper pen, it adds some dimension where it's not just one color. And you can tell it helps make things look a little more realistic. So just adding some more darker hairs, quote unquote. Sorry, I got a little out of frame in this. And then doing the same thing. Go along the bottom edge first, and then working your way up to the top. So you let it dry. And then we're going back in. We're not adding any more product. But I'm using that to buff out the front. And later you can't, if you take off too much, it's fine. You can go back in, and like you can see, it spread it up a little too far, but we would do that and clean up. With the Juvia's Place. And I use this Sigma cut crease brush to carve out the bottom part of my brows. So I spread it on and then blend down, as you can see. And here you can fix your shape if it got out of control. You know, if you brought it down too far, this is the time to clean it up. This is the only reason I carve out my brows, is just to fix any mistakes. same thing on the other side. And this is also where you can try to get them to match, if that makes sense. So if one came down a little too far, you just match them up. But it's important that when you do this line, that you go back and you buff that downwards. It keeps the product from bunching up near the eyebrow. And because I'm preparing for shadow, I go ahead and put the rest of the eye base on. And then I take a beauty blender and just buff that out to get it even. And you want to make sure you buff that in really good so that your shadow doesn't get bunchy in places where there's, more primer. And there is the eyebrow. Hope this was helpful.
So I went ahead and finished up my look, and this is for another video. You guys will be seeing that in a couple days, but these are how my eyebrows turned out. So I don't like to clean up at the top because I feel like it can look a little cakey. Don't mind my zit right there. But so what I do, instead of carving it out, because I still like the top to look a little fluffy, I just, when I do my concealer to brighten through here, I just kind of, clean it up with my, I'll show you, my concealer brush. So this is my concealer brush, and you can use any brush though. So what I do is when I'm doing my concealer, I just kind of tap out right here, and that's how I clean up the top. I don't really carve out the top. I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks more natural like this. So I really hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and please share this if you would. Helps me out a lot. Everything I put on and all the products I used will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for being with me today, and until next time, love one another. I'll see y'all later.